A 60-year-old is dead after a St. Louis police officer shoots and kills him, what the department says led up to the shooting.
He turned and displayed his handgun and was shot by the officer in pursuit.
After a break from the 90s yesterday, we're getting hotter as we head towards this upcoming weekend. A chance of storms by Sunday could mean some cooler weather by then.
Today, Americans celebrate the end of slavery in the United States. The family-friendly events happening on both sides of the river in just a few hours.
Her first performance in 2 years.
And no more talking about it. I only answer to my creator.
How the Muni helped one local singer find her voice.
It's the Olympic Games Take 2. The event a 20-year-old ballroom diver will now compete in Paris.
This is Today in St. Louis, focused on you.
Good morning, everybody. It's June the 19th, Juneteenth. I'm Rennie Knott.
And I'm Michelle Lee. Thanks so much for joining us. The time now is 6:01, and if you're getting out the door in the next 5 minutes, I'll tell you it's already hot, humid, uncomfortable. And yesterday, Anthony, we had kind of a break because of the cloud cover that you were talking about, but today it's gone, right?
Yeah, the clouds are moving away. They are taking their time, and downtown is still mostly cloudy, but I think by the time we get to lunchtime, it will be full sunshine, and then we'll have a mix of sun and clouds, just more brighter sky today. 88 by lunchtime, that was our high yesterday. We'll be at 94 this afternoon. You can see the clouds, again, starting to scoot away from St. Louis Metro. We're in the clear west of St. Louis, and then you see these showers moving in from Kansas City up into Columbia, Kirksville. These are moving north. They are not going to affect us today, but what is affecting us, these humid, warm temperatures at 78 at Lambert. There are some 60s on the map, like Chesterfield, Warrenton, Sullivan, even Farmington. Those locations have dipped back into the 60s, but 70s on the Illinois side of the river. Up to 94 in St. Louis today with brighter skies. Winds today light, so not a lot of natural AC for us. 5 to 10 mile per hour gusts out of the south. Let's talk about, though, the traffic. This morning, 6 a.m., Paul is here to get you to work safely. Paul, good morning.
Good morning, Anthony. Yeah, if you've been watching, you already know about this accident, and we are seeing it out there continuing to affect traffic here, Mid-Rivers Mall Drive. So we're in St. Peter's and right there at 70 in the left lane. You can kind of see the emergency vehicles there. Folks moving right on by, but as you know, right now we start to build as far as volume goes. We build in that direction. It's the icon that you're seeing right now, not really needing an alternate route yet, but that will happen. You will need one if you use Carondelet here in South City. That closes underneath 55 near the River de Pere. That happens here at 8:30 this morning, so just something to be aware of, the big cone. And then we look here right now at the Metro, and not too bad. Just Mid-Rivers Mall at 70. We'll have another take of traffic coming your way soon.
June 19th is known as Juneteenth, the day when America remembers the day the news of the Emancipation Proclamation finally reached enslaved people in Galveston, Texas.
Now, there are a lot of ways in the bi-state to celebrate today, and we've got team coverage this morning on the events near you and how also to cope with the heat during all of these festivities. Diamond Palmer is in Collinsville, but we're going to start with Sydney Stallworth in downtown St. Louis. Sydney, what's new this year in the city?
Well, Michelle, Rennie, the fun is getting a lot bigger down here for what's known as St. Louis's official Juneteenth festival. For the first year, the festival is taking over this entire block of Wash Ave. But let me tell you guys, the fun is getting started in just about 6 hours here. Go ahead and take a look. And it's so interesting because all of this started about 5 years ago, right here on this patio here at House of Soul. But let me tell you, a lot has changed along Wash Ave since then.
We love being here, we love the location, but everything that comes with being in the location, from the streets being blocked off, from no parking, and now let's talk about some of the crime that we see every day on the news that's going on downtown. And it's sad to see people leave here that put their hard work and time and energy and money into their businesses.
Nicole Stevenson owns House of Soul and says she's seen businesses closing left and right over the past few years. With downtown's reputation for crime and unsightly boarded up businesses, Stevenson says downtown isn't visitor friendly like it once was. While police are putting up blockades in the evenings designed to deter crime, she says it actually ends up deterring foot traffic, devastating her downtown business.
Honestly, we're devastated. The blocks have been blocked off for over going on 2 years. Deterrent lights are flashing. Our business is 30 and older. We have lost maybe 40% of our business. We are barely hanging on by threads.
Now, one of the hopes for today's Juneteenth festival to bring more people downtown and more money to businesses here along Wash Ave. If you are coming out, you should know it all gets started at noon, so be prepared. You cannot park in this section here on Wash Ave, and make sure to hydrate because we're dealing with high heat. But this isn't the only Juneteenth festival happening in the St. Louis City area. I'm going to break down where you and your family can celebrate in our next half hour. That's the latest from downtown. I'm Sydney Stallworth, 5 on your side.
All right, thanks so much, Sydney. Of course, our Juneteenth team coverage continues this morning with Diamond Palmer over in the Metro East.
And Diamond, what is happening this year in Collinsville?
Well, things that are happening here this year for Juneteenth, some of them are actually new. So for the first time ever, the city of Collinsville will have a Juneteenth parade. Now, they're not new to Juneteenth festivities. They've been celebrating them for 4 years now, but this sort of represents progress for the town of Collinsville. Here you can see behind me is Herald Square, so there'll be things happening inside of that building, outside. But to notate that the parade is happening, they actually have those no park signs. That parade is actually going to kick off on Hesperia and Main Street. We're going to show you a map here on your screen. Then it will actually turn onto Center Street. From there, it will take a left turn onto Clay Street and then come back to Hesperia and Main Street. So essentially one big rectangle. So of course, Collinsville isn't the only spot that's celebrating Juneteenth today, this federal holiday. Across the river in North St. Louis County, Delwood will be kicking off celebrations at noon, also with a parade. Then the festivities continue at the Delwood Recreation Center until about 9 p.m. this evening. You can find live music, food trucks, games for the kids, health screenings, and community resources. There will also be a voter registration and panel discussion on violence in schools. The evening will end with fireworks, but over the weekend, other cities, including University City, actually celebrated Juneteenth, and this is what their organizers had to say.
I think it's really sitting at a table and educating yourself. And the fear of not knowing or not doing something right, but have a seat at the table. I'm more than willing. I'm always down for a conversation to help. And I think that's where really, I guess, the lack of sometimes celebrations happens.
So for the city of Delwood, they say their Juneteenth festivities will go on as normal despite the heat, but they say they will have plenty of water on hand. Of course, it's always good to bring sunscreen as well for these activities happening. Reporting live here in Collinsville, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
Thank you, Diamond. At noon, the 4th annual Illinois Black Woodstock Festival is back in East St. Louis. The family-friendly festival will be at the corner of State and 82nd Streets.
And of course, you know, there's going to be live music because you can't have Woodstock without music, right?
True.
Food trucks and a kids' play area. That runs until 8 o'clock tonight. All right, he is punching his ticket to Paris, the 20-year-old diver from Baldwin who just made Team USA.
All right, if you're headed outside at any point today, it is still very steamy. The temperatures are going to climb into the 90s once again today, and we'll have brighter skies compared to yesterday's cloud cover. It was nice, though. We had a high of only 88 degrees.